Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sawyer and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 here and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are! Indeed, a child salutum. None of you are here right now.
Merch.
None of you are here right now, so we're just going to kind of hang out until you guys show up.
Merch.
Shout out to all the Twitter people. Shout out to all the YouTube people. Shout out to all the Rumbillions. I think hopefully we're live on Rumble too. I'm not sure, but we have a mega Tragetta stream for you beautiful people. As soon as you guys show up, we should probably just do the wait screen until these people come back. Good night. So
what's up, Ben? How are you?
Grizzly in the house. Good. We got a giant thingamajig going on. I'm Ben.
I'm sorry.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sorry says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at itsorry@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Ben and Sorry. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sorry and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 here and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed, a child shall lead them.
So buy our merch.
Yes, dear listener, yes, dear listener, yes, dear listener.
We have a wonderful stream for you guys tonight. This is going to be going on for a long time. We have the alliances coupled with the imperishable flames to bring you this.
All right, dear listener, here we go. Song numero uno
is by Rock of Ages, State of the Rock Union winner, Black Midi, Welcome to Hell. What a
the
nice
lyric
title.
video.
The lyric video.
The lyric video. All right, Black
the
Midi.
comments are State of the Rock Union theme was the third part of a theme series. First part was Roots Poll, where we had picks from genres that influenced the birth of rock genre. Second part was Rockin' All Over the World, where we had picks from subgenres and local scenes that had evolved in specific areas. In the State of the Rock Union theme, we tried to answer to the questions: what's the current state of the rock genre, and has it evolved at all? Are there bands that have been able to take it to new levels? What's fresh currently? The winner of the poll was Black Midi from London, England, formed in 2017. They are a rock band that incorporates styles such as math rock, progressive rock, post-punk, and avant jazz. This was Slade's pick. Shout out to Slade. Math rock. Interesting.
All right, 9 hour stream. Who dis? Yes, I just accomplished.
Here we go.
I just accomplished a legendary feat in the YouTube world. I did 9 hours straight, dear listener. All right, guys, here we go. Song number 1, Black Midi, Welcome to Hell. Wonderful, wonderful phraseology. Let me just make sure all my sound stuff is in the right. Bada bing, bada boom, the movie sound. All right, here we go. Black Midi, song numero uno, Welcome to Hell. With the lyrics, math rock. We're going to talk about algebra, all the rest of it. Let's do it. You guys probably want that switched, huh?
Listen, the sweet peals of moonlight induce love-making on the streets tonight. Listen, the soft purr of motorbikes ready to strike up the night light. So don't tell me of your troubles, your emotional grief. Taking the sights, this is shore leave. Don't talk of true love, unscrew your frown. Enjoy the entertainments of nighttime town. Experience the red rooms, the green tables, the souvenirs, make memories haunting of fables. The gallant mist of red-blooded chivalry instilled in basic training. By standing in line today, you secure a place among the saints. Go get them, son, now your life begins. To die for your country does not win a war. To kill for your country is what wins a war. Don't tell your name, don't ask for hers. In this land of oysters, you are the worth. The painless plainness of military life resumes tomorrow night. If not for you, it would have been cholera, malaria, or some eastern disease. Forget about it, son. A slap is all you need.
Metal, I'm assuming.
We did it all, we've seen it all, and worse, much worse, son. The massacres of ages, too many to recall. Limbs rendered birds by the speed they flew off. A soup nothingness that once was your best friend. Motherless children and temptress widows. The wild, the useless, the dead, the untamable. Oh.
This all of a sudden got very big.
Fuck, don't stay in the street, lucky I don't shoot on the spot. Our bullets were made for men like you, the impotent idiots God forgot. And tonight you decide which corner takes residence, which room looms forever in your mind. But now you're on your own, we don't need men like you.
That drum is crazy.
Which room looms forever in your mind. But now you're on your own, we don't need men like you. Ivan, Tristan Bangle, hereby discharged!
That's the end of the song. That's a pretty abrupt ending. Hold on. What the hell, guys?
I can decide which corner takes residence, which room looms forever in your mind. But now you're on your own. We don't need men like you. Private Tristan Bungle, hereby discharged.
Okay. They got rid of him. Okay. All right.
Yeah, but what did that? This one has another. Tonight you just because. Oh, they just repeated that. Discharged.
Yeah, that's the last word.
Yep.
Mr. Tristan Bongo.
Uh-oh.
So Tristan Bongo. This looks like he's getting called into the office at the military, and they're explaining all the reasons why he's no longer worthy to be part of their army. It looks like to me. So,
okay.
Yeah,
right.
let me check it out here.
The sweet peals of moonlight induced lovemaking on the streets tonight. So is this like in between their like war stuff? They usually go out and have a night on the town. Is it like that?
It's very possible. He might have been off on liberty and leave, whatever.
Yeah.
And he might have been doing whatever. I mean, I doubt that's what was going on with the dude.
He said shore leave right there, right?
What?
Don't tell me of your troubles, your emotional grief. Take in the sights. This is shore leave.
Yeah, so he's on leave. Yeah, but I don't know if that he was doing anything out in the with the girls.
Enjoy the entertainments of nighttime town. Yeah, it sounds like they were all out.
Oh yeah, they always go out. I just don't think that was the reason he got discharged. Is what I'm saying.
Oh no, I didn't think that.
There's a whole bunch of stuff that goes on in the song that makes me believe like he's one of those people that got conscripted in the military, but he doesn't really want to play along. What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, I understood. I was just going to go by like sections to break it down. First of all, the music was like distracting for me because it was like a mix of like an orchestra and like a circus and metal, I guess, all like kind of mashed in together.
I forgot the name of that band that I really. What's this? I don't know if it was I that liked it or if it was Ben. But there was a band, I think it was like something Pineapple, and they had a kind of style. It was very quirky style of metal.
Like this? This is quirky, very quirky.
Why?
The style of music that is? I mean,
I thought you meant your coffee. I'm like, I thought you were about to do an object lesson. Yeah, like no. It reminded me of like Pineapple something. I forgot the name. Lesson. I forgot the name of the band, but there was a Pineapple.
Well, Ben's here. He might say it.
No, I'm not thinking about Mr. Bunk. What, Ben Webb is here?
Oh, no. That Ben.
No. Ben Webb. Webb. The original Ben. Not the imposter Ben.
The bad Ben.
Not the imposter Ben. The real Ben.
Somebody negative asked if you're thinking of Mr. Bungle.
No, I'm not thinking about Mr. Dumble. It's literally something with... The band is named with pineapple in the name. Like, literally. But anyway, I don't want to get distracted. So, yeah. It was the band with pineapple in it. And, yeah. Yeah, so the song was distracting if you're like a regular metal person who's looking for like the meter and all that. Could it be
Pineapple Thief?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
It is something with pineapple in it though.
Okay,
I just don't know. It's
just distracting because I don't feel like I ever remember anything with pineapple in it, but okay.
I don't know. But anyway, so let's look at these lyrics. Yeah, sonically there are parts in it that I was really vibing to, but then they switched up like right as I was getting the vibe, which is not a problem because I'm sure if you heard the song 3 or 4 times, after a while you'd be able to go, oh, okay, there's where the waves are going. Pineapple upside down cake and the Heartbreakers. Nope, I think it was like pineapple.
So distracting.
It was something like Pineapple Tree or something like that. But anyway, we don't have Ben Webb here, so we'll never know. But they were like, I don't know if they were a progressive band, but they were like an experimental band or something like that. I'm not sure. But anyway.
So, go ahead.
No, go. You're good.
Okay, so it sounded like they were going out, and it sounded like, I thought like one of the guys was telling the other guy, like, don't tell me about your pain, I just want to have fun tonight, and you should just have fun too. That's why he says, don't tell me your troubles, your emotional grief. Just take in the sights. This is shore leave. Don't talk about true love. Unscrew your frown. So in other words, it sounded like he was saying like, yeah, but maybe one of them would be like, I have true love back at home. And he was like, don't even talk about that. Like, just go enjoy the entertainments of nighttime town.
Yeah.
And then he says, experience the red rooms, the green tables, the souvenirs. The red rooms, I would assume, has some sexual something to it.
Yeah, because in Amsterdam, they call it the red light district.
And then green tables are where you're like playing. It's like
I guess
gambling.
It was gambling. Yeah, that's
like
my
in
guess.
yeah.
The souvenirs. I mean, pool tables are also green. The souvenirs make memories haunting or fabled. That's I actually like that part.
Why?
I mean, it's you either make like fabled, like a fable, like a story, like something that's like really great, or haunting, like whatever you want to do. Just go do your thing and like make memories, like whatever in whichever way you want. The gallant mist of red-blooded chivalry instilled in basic training. So they're just okay.
Yeah, the gallant mist of red-blooded chivalry instilled in basic training. Yeah, like like being a knight, operating with honor, that type of thing. That's what you get from basic training. That's the whole thing with the military. It's like, we're going to make you a man. You just came out of high school. You don't know anything yet. We're going to turn you into a man. Which, so when they talked about like teaching chivalry, it's kind of that traditional masculine, men are protectors, stiff upper lip, that type of stuff. Where they... I'm really torn about that whole concept of like, we're going to quote unquote make a man out of you. I mean, to be honest with you, my little brother was a pretty decent man before he went into the Marine Corps. I mean, to be honest with you, my little brother never recovered from becoming a man in the Marine Corps. And it ended up, taking his life. Everybody does. Everybody makes their own decisions, obviously. But it's a very interesting discussion relative to masculinity, because I do believe that men, sorry guys, but I do believe that men should have a certain kind of hardness to them, especially if you're in the armed forces, where the premise is people are trying to, invade your company, destroy your country, whatever. And, whoa. Sorry, just watched another 3-hour podcast killing Tim Kennedy for being a lying douchebag, and I'm still in an irreverent laughing mood. Yeah, Tim Kennedy is really interesting. Tim Kennedy, I don't really know what he was like. So Tim Kennedy was in the Army. He worked adjacent with some of the CAG guys, didn't he, for a while? I just saw an interview with Shrek where he was talking about Tim. So, I mean, he was out there operating with folks, right? What exactly did he lie about? But anyway, it's relevant because Tim Kennedy is a UFC guy, but he was also in the U.S. military. I don't know if he was in Ranger Bat or whatever, but he started working with the Delta guys, so I'm not sure what he lied about, but yeah, no, Vin, the attitude about manhood is 100% right. Yeah, no, I agree. I think my philosophy, and I think this is, where it's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war, right? So I agree. And I've trained my boys that way. The boys, it's rough and tumble, man. People get hurt. It happens. We box, we fight. It is what it is. And like one time we were having these tournaments between the boys because we're watching Cobra Kai, and my two boys squared up and they went at it, and one of them ended up crying. And those are really important moments because crying doesn't make you a bitch to cry. Like, you got hit, he got you in the ribs, it's exposed. There's nothing wrong with that. You're not a bitch for crying. You're a bitch if you don't try, though. And so, like, he tried. And, in that situation, he lost. But I avenged him, dear listener. I avenged my son on my son. Yeah, like, I remember the first time you saw us fighting, and tell the people what happened.
Well, here's your pen. I thought it was horrible because they were boxing. First of all, we didn't do that. Like, I didn't come from a family that did that. I mean, we had only one boy in our family, and I never saw that anywhere. No families that I was around ever the father would wrestle around with the kids. I never saw it. To be fair, it was beyond standard wrestling.
I mean, it was slap boxing, it was hitting in the face, that type of thing.
Yeah, I was unprepared.
It wasn't just like wrestling on the ground.
I was unprepared for that because the kid slapped him right in the face. Flap! And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Like, I thought he was going to say something like that's, too far. Like, if you can get a shot in on the arm or something like that, fine, but not like straight across your father's face. Because I was like, that is so disrespectful. I cannot believe it. But then you didn't really... He was like, do something like this, so I knew, like, he got you a good one. And then you were like, okay, and you just kept going in. I think you told him he did a good job or something like that, and I was, like, totally taken back. I did not understand it at the time.
She had her guy talk to me. It was a very serious conversation. I was like, what? I was like, what? He goes, you know what was funny? So, like...
I don't remember having him talk to you.
2 weeks prior to that, a situation had happened, right? Everybody was over my house, I think, because we were baptizing these, like, local kids or whatever. And so everybody's like, oh, this is great. And then they all went home. And one of the ladies comes back and says, hey, Vin, you got to get down here. I said, what happened? She said, there's a guy down there. He's got a knife. So I go down there, and there were a few couples that were there, like male-female couples, and then there's this guy, about 6'2", whatever, and he was in crisis, and when I finally got down there, the women were in closest proximity to him, and the men were behind the women. And so I went down there, obviously.
One of the women was pregnant, too.
One of the women was pregnant. So I went down there and, I didn't do any tough guy shit because, honestly, all the guy really needed was an ear. But they had said that he had a knife, right? So I'm not really looking him in the eyes. I'm looking at his hands. I'm looking at, his, basic shit. But as I talked to him, it was clear he just needed somebody to hear what he had to say. You know what I'm saying?
I think that if you have, like, already in your head ideas of, like, fear makes people do crazy things. It makes people act crazily. Like, I definitely think, obviously, that the way that you're teaching the boys, not to be afraid of those types of conflicts and stuff is really important. But the area that Vin was living in was... Now, I mean, I see things completely differently, but it was more like the ghetto of Maine. And so we already, him and I were not together at the time. We already felt like we were putting our lives in the hands of God to even go there. Now I look back, I'm like, oh my gosh, we did not understand what was going on. And it looks really ignorant when I look back. But so, like, for us, it was like, like we went into this like scarier part of town because we want to be part of this whole thing or whatever. So when something started popping off, like everybody that was involved there, I wasn't there when that thing popped off, but I just know the mentalities of those people. So they,
we had the dudes literally standing behind women when they thought that there was a real credible threat, like the guy had a knife and all the rest of it. Anyway,
he just attached his legs, BC, and ran out there. So
they people were doing, the whole AAR after the hot wash, whatever. Everybody's like, yo, oh man, this crazy guy, but Vin, blah, blah, blah. Well, one of the dudes that was hiding behind his wife said, oh, I was just about to regulate on the homie,
That's the main
blah,
phrase.
blah, blah. It was a lot of that. It was a lot of that, regulating on the homie. I was like, oh yeah, man, definitely. So anyway, I'm getting reprimanded by her guy at the time for slapboxing with my son.
For allowing your son to slapbox your face.
Yeah, well, I mean, I had my guard down, and he hit me, and that's exactly what we taught him, right? So, he said, like, yo, like you're teaching your son all this violence, blah 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 blah. I said, well, I'm not teaching him to be a violent person, but I am teaching him how to deal. I don't even believe in fearlessness necessarily, because I've known fearless people in conflicts, and 2 of them are dead. Fearless people a lot of times put you and other people in danger. Fear is a good response because it heightens the senses, and it makes you understand that you're playing for keeps. The issue is do you understand what's going on with fear? Your body's pumping you full of adrenaline and things of that nature, to give you that mechanism to fight or flight. And once you get trained to understand what your body and your mind is doing in those situations, you begin to understand fear, not overcome it, because fear is not something to be overcome. It's something to be utilized, right? Just like any other emotion. If you have too much lovey-dovey emotions, then that could be bad. If you have too much negative emotions, that could be bad. Things have to be used in balance, and things need to be deployed when they're necessary. Fear is a necessary emotion. Brave people are not people who are fearless. Brave people are people who can operate in spite of their fear. And so one big thing with fighting that I just found is that everybody's afraid to get hit in the face. They think that if you get hit in the face, it's over with because they're seeing, boxing and UFC or whatever, and somebody gets hit on the button and they go straight down. People are terrified of getting hit in the face. I remember my first boxing coach, the first time I was 8, and he just slapped the shit out of me. But ever since then, I've never been afraid of getting hit in the face. I've been knocked out. I told her a story. I was in a group of people. I was the youngest one there. There was some sort of like, how is this guy even here? He's not qualified. Look at this. How's he here? And, but I made it. I went through what everybody else went through.
Forget about it, son. A slap is all you need.
Yeah, forget about it. A slap is all you need. Yeah, I look, man, I earned my way, okay? Maybe it was a little unorthodox, but I earned my way. So this guy was talking all this shit, right? I said, yo, the next time you say some shit to me, I'm going to hit you, bro. And the other guy's like, come on, baby, because they used to call me baby. And he said, yeah, he said some dumb shit to me. I was, bow! Right? Bang! I got the drop on him. And then I woke up I think 2 minutes later. After I hit the guy. He knocked out one of my teeth, all type of shit. But then after that, he said, anytime we go out, you sit next to me, kid. But yeah, man, you gotta get rid of that, not rid of the fear response. You just need to understand how the fear response works. Anyway, the point is, I don't know what type of I don't know how the Brits do it, but maybe they have some really terrible basic training where you get slapped around and shit. That doesn't happen in the American Army anymore. I can tell you that. Maybe 275 might have what's up, Prasaya? 275 may have a different perspective because he was an Army guy, but I don't think the Rangers are like Army. Like there's something else now. Whatever. You remember that no disrespect to my LGBT people, but I wish I could play you guys the clip.
Oh my God.
It was a super feminine dude. He's like, we are that detachment, or whatever he was saying. I'm like, bro,
I thought it was a camp.
Yeah, he was wearing he's wearing his little Army shirt.
I thought it was a camp and they were trying to do like the boot camp.
It was this gay dude and then two girls around him. He's like, we are that crew. And I was like, oh my God, that's right. The Russians, the Al-Qaeda, all the rest of those guys are looking at us going, man, we can't fuck with these Americans. Look what they got. Look at the product that they're sending out there. I'm sorry. But if I would discharge that dude immediately. See ya. There's no way in the world. There's no way in the world that we're going to present that as the armed forces, okay? It just can't be done. Directo Franco in this bitch. But it is funny, though. You said a slap will set you straight. Slap is all you need.
Then we did it all, we've seen it all, and much worse on the Massacre of Ages, Too Many to Recall. Then this part was kind of crazy because the song was so like Mary Poppins when they were like cleaning the chimneys and stuff, like the production, they had that in this song. So like I kept getting sort of taken away by the music and thinking this is like this sort of like funny affair. And I got something about birds flying away quickly or something. But then it's literally limbs rendered birds by the speed they flew off. A soup nothingness that once was your best friend. Motherless children and temptress widows. The wild, the useless, the dead, the untamable. I was like, holy shit.
Brutal, man.
Yeah.
There was a dude in World War I. He was with his crew. Then he went to take a bathroom break. And then when he came back, his entire crew was dead because they got direct hit on a mortar. Mm-hmm. Like direct hit. Like if you get a direct, it's over. It's over with.
Fork.
Oh, it's a fork?
I think so.
Well, get rid of it. You take a direct hit like that, it's over with. And, you know, obviously that messed that dude up for the rest of his life. That man was named Adolf Hitler. That's a true story. He saw all of his friends well, he didn't see them get vaporized. He saw hey, CISO in this bitch. He saw the results of what happens when that happens.
I don't know. I can't imagine. I can't imagine because the thing is, anytime that, like...
What, seeing all that carnage?
Well, like when, you know, there's a lot of different, you know, you can watch the Sean Ryan show or whatever, and there's like stories, and like the people will start talking, and you'll be like, oh, okay, well, you know, this person, I guess I was wrong, it wasn't the fork. You'll be like, oh, you know, I guess this person made it out all right, no problems. And then they start talking, and then the more that they talk, the more you realize, oh my gosh, that traumatized them, like, because the answers that they put out, they seem like so like normal at some points, but then all of a sudden, like, you see like this other, like, it slips out, like that it really was, it changed them drastically. Although I will say, I haven't heard Sean Ryan himself say anything that's sort of, but he's mostly asking questions. He talked about how his
people keep making fun of him because he trails off because he's like, I've had bombs, you know, he's talking about people making fun of him.
Yeah, I didn't really actually remember much of his stories. I just, because he's always asking the questions, so. But yeah.
I'm so glad I wasted my prime years in Iraq and Afghanistan so that those places can have happy democratic societies. Yeah, bro. Yeah, spreading democracy. Whether you want it or not, Iraqis!
What's up, Matthew?
Yeah, I thought this was really, really cool. And then the kid ends up discharged from the military. You're on your own. We don't need men like you, Private Tristan Bongo. Hereby discharged. There was that line in the Patton,
he was an impotent idiot.
In the Patton movie where Patton goes up to this guy and the guy says, "So you're the officer?" And the guy goes, "Yeah." And he goes, "How far are you willing to go?" He's like, "I'm willing to die for my country." And then Patton goes, "I don't want people that are going to die for their country. I want people that are going to kill for their country." And I was like, that the first time I heard that, I was in the 10th grade, Truman High School. And I remember looking at that and being like, yeah, fuck dying. So I went to my boys the next day at school because we were at war. We were not at war. We thought we were at war with these dudes. So I went to my boys and I said, listen, fellas. And I was waiting for the right time. You know what I'm saying? I was waiting for the right time. And I was like, yo, listen, fellas. Our job isn't to die for each other. You know, blah, blah, blah. Everybody looked at me crazy. But you know, it is what it is. But yeah, like, this was a very, very interesting song because it seemed kind of silly. But at the same time, they were really talking about some serious themes here. Some serious themes. So it was kind of done in a nonchalant, kind of happy way, but it also, it's a crazy thing that people call young men to do, and there hasn't been a generation in humanity where young men have not been called upon to sacrifice their 18s and their 20s, and sometimes people in their 30s for the sake of whatever. I think the worst part about it is, like, if you've ever taken somebody's life and then you find out you did that on false pretenses.
Oh no.
That's why a lot of times people, you gotta find different reasons to do what you do. And there's a lot of things you don't understand certain things because you're idealistic. You know, it's like that line in BHD where Eversman looks at Hoot and says, you don't believe in what we're doing here? And Hoot just says, man, just watch your corner and bring all your guys home.
Yeah.
Man.
Yep.
And then at the end of the movie, it's like, you know, where Hoot just says, you know, when I go home, people always ask me why I do it, and I don't say a fucking word because they wouldn't understand. Then he goes, about the man next to you. That's all it is. Then he walks away. And it's like, oh, that's so beautiful. It's like, that's what you have to hold on to. Like, if you look at Vietnam, I remember the first time I talked to a Vietnam vet. And man, he was. It was where I met that dude in a psych ward, by the way. And I just said, like, so, like, was that all a waste over there in Vietnam? And he's like, well, I can't say that. You know, I lost too many of my friends in there to say that they died for no reason. And then he goes, we died for each other. And it's like, on the one hand, that is so true. If you've ever been in any kind of conflict, like, there is a lot of communitas. Community is just what happens when you have basic things in common. Communitas is when you have basic suffering in common, right? So like a mosh pit is communitas, right? Because you're doing the suffering together. You've been standing up for 3 or 4 hours to watch your favorite band, and your favorite band comes on, and now you're in this physical altercation with these people. That's communitas. It's the community that gets built around suffering. And so that is part of the psychological conditioning of basic training and things of that nature, is to put people in a situation where they're uniquely suffering, and that creates that kind of bond. And those bonds are absolutely necessary in order to justify a thinking shooter, is what they used to say. If you have a thinking shooter, that's bad news. Thinking in the sense of he's philosophical, he's questioning, why are we doing this, why are we doing that? And one of the things that will keep a thinking shooter in a good condition is whether or not he has communitas with the people around him. Because even if he doesn't agree with what's happening, he knows that his boys are going to strap up and load up. And if he's not there and somebody breaks a toenail, he'll never forgive himself. I cannot tell you how many people ended up in the ground because for whatever reason, something happened, a marriage, something happens, they weren't there, somebody replaced them, that guy died, and 2 of his best friends died. Some people never get over that shit and end their own lives. So it's a horrible thing that gets done to young people. I used to tell my friend, like, man, I wish we were around during World War II. Because then you could just go and just blaze the hell out of these people and not care because you're fighting Nazis. You're like legitimately fighting bad people. But yeah, what a crazy. And I'm not saying that bad people didn't die during the GWAT, because bad people died in the GWAT. Very bad people died in the GWAT. So I'm not saying that. I'm talking about people that will strap suicide vests to kids that have mega high autism, almost nonverbal, and sending them into a souk and you know, all type of shit. People like that, they gotta go, bro. But yeah, what an interesting song, like the way that everything kind of worked out in the song. I give this one a solid 8.8.
This was an interesting one because just the way that it kind of presented itself so much more differently than it was. I would like to know what made them switch on this guy too, because in the one sense it sounded like, hey, let's go out and have a good time, and then something popped off, it seems like, and then the guy saying, you're sniveling, you know, whatever, lucky I don't shoot you in the spot, your bullets were made for men like you, the impotent idiots God forgot. So I don't know what happened between, hey, it's a night on the town, and now you're on your own, get out of here. I didn't feel like that was clear enough in the song, especially for me. So I'm going to go with an 8.6 on this one. 8.6.
All right, I gave it an 8.8. The night has just begun, dear listener. We will see you on the other side of the break. Vin out.
Sorry, out.
Gone. I'm Vin.
I'm sorry.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sorry says, $125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. $125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at instory@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
Ah!
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/VinandSori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 here and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy merch.
Buy merch indeed, and y'all shall eat them.
To buy our merch.
Yes, dear listener, yes, dear listener, yes, dear listener. We are in the beginning stages of our mega stream.
Wait, 53 minutes on the first review?
Well, no, it wasn't 53 minutes.
Oh, we didn't start. Okay. Oh, no. Yeah, no, we started that one at 18. Well, still.
No commento. All right,
funny,
here we go.
funny.
Song numero dos.
Okay, 53. I'm taking the timestamp, Ben, so you don't have to yell at me. 53:45. Ofnus, Grains of Sand. This is the Epic Underground. As you guys know, our patrons get to pick songs on the regular for us to review and listen to. And so shout out to our patrons. We want to thank you for all that you do in this community. The Epic Underground leader, Archero, says this Epic Underground poll is dedicated to bands from the birthplace of metal. The United Kingdom. The winner was Ofnus, a brand new melodic black metal band from Wales. This song, Grains of Sand, comes from their 2023 debut album and was chosen by Misery Biz.
Misery Biz. All right, here we go. Ofnus, Grains of Sand. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez. Those nerves.
Wow, I like that.
what y'all say. I love that song, bro. People didn't like the vocal style. I mean, that's why I love Magua so much, because Magua has really figured out how to do deathy, blacky vocals without like completely, doing the Danny Phil thing. Who's the other guy? The vocalist, Tom Araya from Slayer, to me is the best kind of vocalist for, if you're not going to do clean vocals, Tom Araya's vocal style is also, it's dark, it's menacing, but you can hear what he's saying. I don't think he's ever tried to like sing, like hit a note or whatever, but I'm sure he's hitting some kind of notes. But like, I get it. People don't, sometimes death vocals or black metal vocals are kind of hard to access as far as like, enjoying it. But if your neurons have been programmed like ours have, because music is our work, then there's a pathway for that where it actually makes sense and you see the beauty in it. Lyrically, this thing was insane. But what was going on with you?
Let's see. How much will I say? Usually the vocal style throws me off when it's like this. I wouldn't say like I loved the vocal style, but it didn't throw me off. And so, the music started with the song, and that was just kind of soul capturing, I thought. And then the vocals started in. I think that the vocal style, it was okay for me. And then the words of the song, I like poetry a lot. And so just some of the ways that he wrote, like I just kind of, it just made me think of a lot of different things.
Yeah, I think a big thing for me was, I mean, obviously he's talking about life and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
I don't think the vocals are necessarily a problem. I like what Cecil said. I feel like there was probably an area of opportunity, as we used to say, with the mixing, as far as like the drums not being prominent, trying to figure out how to get all. We did an interview with a guy.
I was listening to them going.
Yeah, we did an interview with a guy in year one, and he had done some work with Lamb of God, and he was supposed to set us up with a Lamb of God interview. That never materialized. Damn it! I was going hardcore for those band interviews back in those days.
And you were getting them too.
Yeah, I was. I'll probably try to start that again. But like, what he said was like the difference between a classic metal record and a one you throw in the garbage can is whether or not the mix can capture a way to make all the instruments stand on their own individually while at the same time blending them, which is extremely difficult to do. He said, listen, when you present a raw track to a producer, like it's literally noise. Like metal, our genre is literally noise. And you got to find a way to make the noise legible. I thought that was a really, really interesting insight because, I haven't been backstage for the production side of this stuff. So I thought that was a pretty interesting thing to say. We can have a Sleep Talker interview. That's true. And we will have one shortly. So yeah, I thought the mix was more of the problem than the actual vocal style. But that guitar line, man, that was prominent. The major kind of riff that the lick that they kept going back to was just beautiful. Tremolo picking and that technique is just, it's incredible. And if somebody would have told me, like, dude, there's an entire genre of this, I would have been a crazy black metal head back in the day. I mean, I got converted to metal from Got the Life, which the chorus is all tremolo. Like, I was like, wow, this is incredible. It's the best sound I've ever heard in my life. There's a lot of times I'll just be like, sit with my guitar and stuff, and I'll just start trembling away. I'm like, this is... And the other thing, too, is like, only a guitarist will know this, but it feels so good to play that, kinda. It feels, especially when the melody's crazy, it feels so good. Like,
I bet.
Like, it physically feels really good to play that.
I bet.
Are
you saying like it matches something in your soul and you're able to play it out, or like are you just saying like even if your soul's not into it, it physically just feels good? It's like,
to do it? Like if you're like planking and you hit that point because you hit that point where your body's like, all right, chill out, like it's over, just, you know, but you're waiting for the clock. And like you kind of hit that point where you get in kind of like that euphoria, you know, like that physical euphoria. It's kind of like that for me. Like it's just so hard to explain. But like certain notes just feel really, really good to play physically. I don't know how else to explain it.
Okay, that's interesting.
But I wait for those who've never had that beautiful feeling, dear listener. I'm sure there's a bunch of dudes doing sweeps saying, I wait for you, loser! Okay, sonically, this thing was incredible. I loved it. Everybody knows I love, like, the tremolo stuff. What did you think the song was about sonically?
So, one of the other things, too, that I thought was interesting, like, as the song was playing was, so I was listening to this book, and he was talking about, like, depression, and I'm pretty sure that he was referencing, like, Saturn, I think, in reference to depression, and I don't know, like, when I first am listening to something, I'm trying to just, like, sort of, like, kind of take it all in, and I'll, like, sort of miss some of the things, I think. But it seemed like he was saying that there was some story, and I think it was connected to the term Saturn, and he was saying, like, that, like, one of the modern ways that we deal with depression is, like, we try to, like, ignore it or push it away or over-medicate it and stuff. And then he was saying that, like, one important way of, like, looking at it is to say, look, Saturn is going to visit you regardless, and some people have more visits of Saturn than other people. But, like, he was thinking it's even healthy to have, like, that schools and businesses, different places should have, like, a room that's set up just for that sort of, like, quiet of the soul where it's just, like, I'm just, like, in a lull and I need to just experience this and just kind of figure out what's going on, you know? And so this song to me was like this sort of journey through like the dark side. Because again, like I like to sort of lean more on I used to like to lean more on the Pollyanna side. I think that like there's a switch that's kind of happened in me. But now it's like, okay, like, well, can you also accept like the darker sides of yourself? And like this song, I felt like it gave like a trough to sit in to like experience that darker side, like and just like the way that he like grains of sand in the end, gray the life that we tend in our minds, the pain that I'm craving, fate obscured to let, I don't know, like just I can't even like the way that he ended it too, feeling now the hands of death steal away my final breath, my mind is under my command, my soul is immortal and death. Like just the way that he worded the thing too, like it had this sort of poetry to it while it left some question marks. Like maybe it all makes complete sense to you. There was just like, I felt like a lot that you could kind of like apply different ways.
It says grains of sand in the end fall afar in the land, pale in our minds and our souls are waiting, flames redeem and rend. That's a crazy line. Flames redeem and rend. So, like, in Catholic theology, well, actually, you know, there is the concept of the purifying fire, right? That gold has what you call dross on it. Like, you have metals that are attached to gold or alloyed that take away from the purity of the gold. And so you throw the gold into a fire, and the fire burns off the dross, and then it comes out, and what you have left is less than what you started with, but it's pure gold. And so there's this concept of like the refining fire. It's a very big concept in Christianity. It gets singed about a lot. You remember that song? We fighters fire. My heart's one desire is to be holy, right? That was actually one of my favorite songs of all time, because my entire life I've been on fire. So I must be a really holy guy, but I'm not, obviously. Just ask the people around me, apparently. But there is a concept of like the refining fire, and you know, the refining fire of God, whatever you want to call it. But even in secularism, you'd like, oh, this guy's been put through the fire, and he's proven, he's battle tested. And I just think that's part of growing up. And if you don't have an understanding that you're gonna go through that, but that it's a positive pain, then you're going to be in a lot of trouble. And I think that's why we are where we are right now society-wise, is that everybody's been sold a bill of goods that life is supposed to be comfortable all the time, and that you're supposed to make these wonderful sort of self-realizations, and it's all supposed to be good, and anything that's bad is, quote, negative, and you need to get it out of your consciousness, or whatever you say. So that line about flames redeem and rend are important, because you can decide whether or not you interpret the flames in your life as redemptive or as rendering, meaning undoing your life. And obviously that's easy to say to a person who, to say as a person who's never had really been through the fire, but the fire is coming eventually. The other side of that is purgatory in the Roman Catholic sense, which to me is a heresy. Well, to God it's a heresy that inshallah he forgives him for. But purgatory, you suffer satisfaction. Satisfaction is the satisfaction, the passion of satisfaction that satisfies God's offense against you because you've got remaining venial sins on your account. Okay? So in that sense, purgatory is redemptive because you go there to suffer for the remaining sins that you've committed since you became a Christian. Now, obviously, this is heretical from a biblical perspective. The scripture says that by one sacrifice, God has made perfect forever those who are being made holy. And so there's no way to reconcile that with a purgatorial understanding of redemption that the Roman Catholics have. But be that as it may, that line there was just crazy to me, that fire redeems and it rends. And sometimes fire redeems you by rending. In other words, sometimes there are things in your life that just need to get taken out of your life. Right? Whether it's a job, it could be a relationship, it could be a status that you had, it could be anything. Sometimes those things need to get burned out of your life for you to get to the next level where you need to go. So, I mean, obviously nobody enjoys going through the fire. If you enjoy going through it, then it's not fire for you. And there's some people that like that. They just like to initiate chaos, like the Joker from Batman. They like to set fire to their own lives and then complain about it. You know what I'm saying? So we're not talking about that. We're talking about the actual growth that comes because, whether you're minding your own business or whatever, there is actual growth that comes through conflict and through the fire if you can rightly interpret what's going on. But if you can't rightly interpret what's going on, then it's going to be more of a rending, which is a tearing apart or a destruction of something instead of a redemption. The people who we look to as leaders and the people that we look up to are people that are able to go through the fire and not quit, come through on the other side. Yeah. Those are the people we all admire. Nobody admires a person who quits in the middle of a fire. We don't despise them either because we know, this guy's been through some fire. But it's not a person you look up to. You look up to the 1% of people, the 275 type people. I know for a fact how physically strenuous the Ranger Bat is, particularly 275. And so I know if I'm talking to that dude, 1 Corinthians 3 is horrible to prove purgatory. It's absolutely no proof whatsoever. Purgatory, it's terrible. If you want to send a Roman Catholic to me about that, we can debate it, Hunter. This is one of the worst, most desperate.
You sound
if they have to go to 1 Corinthians 3 to try to prove purgatory, my God.
I've never even heard anybody do that.
Listen, that's why Roman Catholics don't hold the sola scriptura, okay? Because they have to put you got to appeal to other things outside of Scripture.
Oh, we know another religion like that.
Right. So, Doc, shout out to the Muslims. I suspect that was used to justify burning persons at the stake, purging with fire. 100%. 100%. That. As a matter of fact, Protestants use that when they're burning witches. Roman Catholics use that too because it was listen, you're going to burn in purgatory anyway. We're just head starting it so you have less time in purgatory when we burn you to death, which is really crazy because these guys were being burned for heresy, which is a mortal sin, and you're not going to purgatory if you have mortal sin on your account anyway. But yeah. Now here goes 275. First of all, Vin, I was the world's okayest ranger. Stop it. I've all right.
On another note, I think that you said before, like the people that we look up to are the people that didn't give up. For me, I have I'm always rethinking what I'm saying. One of the people that I look up to the most, absolutely gave up. Like the worst give up I've ever seen. Like the type that you would judge the person forever. But the person like repented of it, and I think sometimes like facing the giving up world that you gave up and coming like back and fixing all of that, and like facing whatever it was that you ran from before. Like sometimes, you know, you burned the bridges, so they're burned, but you gotta, you know, you do your best to kind of fix it. And like watching somebody do that, like I watched somebody up close do that for years, and that person I think about very often, because they're definitely an inspiration to me. So just because you're the type of person that, like, I don't know, I feel like that there's probably more of us that like gave up horribly at some point or another, or on something maybe really important. And so I think it's important also to realize that it's not over, but it's a lot of work to go to reverse that, you know?
Well, yeah, and he's talking about, you know, death, which is the ultimate destiny of every man. And he's talking about dealing with the crisis of knowing you're going to die, and the grains of sand being the passage of time and things of that nature. Mm-hmm. And look, if you come from a worldview where you're cut off from your creator, and you're just out here, you're just protoplasm, and you're just space dust just bumping into each other for a couple spins on the planet, then you go back into the aether, and that's it. I mean, I can see. But what's fascinating to me about nihilistic music is it's sometimes the most beautiful music ever. I always look at nihilistic poets as kind of like a supernova as it's dying. Mm-hmm. You know, when these stars explode, and it's like this last glorious explosion, mm-hmm. until a black hole. Like if you could be in the middle of a supernova happening, it looks it's at the peak of its glory before it goes into the black hole. And that's how I look at a lot of nihilistic music. Yeah. It's like, on the one hand, you're talking about all this emptiness, but you're creating some really high art, mm-hmm. right? And I think that in itself says something about human nature and our place in the universe, not just the world, but in the universe itself.
But that thing that I was reading was actually talking about that and explaining that is one of the benefits of sitting with Saturn, is to allow the poetry of the soul to like come out, and to look at maybe some of the more painful or darker sides of ourselves that we wouldn't otherwise look at, but you can in the midst of that if you allow it to, like, I don't know. You know, if something falls in the forest and dies, from it more life comes, because you start seeing the moss starts growing on the trees, and then other things will grow on it and stuff. So like there is this pattern of from death can come life, but there's also fallen trees in the forest that stay down and stay dead, and nothing's really growing on them, odd as it is. So I think that's sort of like, you know, the choice or the decision of, can you pull something from this grief or from this death or from this darkness? He said blackness on the horizon, bleakness on our souls, and deathless are our thoughts, helpless of our lives. I thought that was really interesting that he said deathless are our thoughts, because you would have thought the opposite. I would have thought he was going to say the opposite, but I guess the deathless are our thoughts is that in the midst of the suffering of the blackness of the horizon and the bleakness of our souls, there's a certain mentation that doesn't stop, and this rhetoric that keeps going, and in that place you're like, I wish you would die like the you know what I mean, like, but it doesn't rest sometimes. And he talks about pain in the mind.
I wonder if he's talking about like ultimate consciousness, saying that, you know, you still remain conscious after death. Mm-hmm. And he's trying to look at death as some sort of escape. But he's got this kind of sneaking suspicion that maybe consciousness doesn't end. It doesn't. Doesn't end. And all these secularists running around with their heads in the sky telling you what to believe about your origins and things like that, they got no freaking clue what consciousness is and where it came from. Don't listen to them people. Don't listen to them people telling you that consciousness is simply a factor of the brain. Be quiet. They don't know that. They don't even know why chocolate tastes like chocolate, dear listener. These secularists walking around pretending that they know what they mean, they don't know nothing. Not relative to that. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that they start from the assumption of physicalism, that matter preceded consciousness. There's no way to prove that, dear listener, and there's a lot of reasons to not believe that. Okay, so there are very good rational reasons to believe in post-mortal consciousness. I had a good friend, he said to me, like, he said, the brain and the mind are the same thing. I said, no, they're not. He said, what's your proof? I said, if I show you definitive proof, will you change your mind? He said, absolutely. I said, great. Here are 700 near-death experiences. And the guy who collated these experiences said, these cannot be explained by brain activity, considering that, there's like 74% of these patients had no detectable brain activity, and yet they were able to describe in great detail a lot of things that happened when that happened. And the document was peer-reviewed. Dear listener, I promise you before the Lord Jesus Christ, I sent that to the homie 3 months ago. He still has not followed up with me on it. So don't let these people tell you that they know that your life is just a brief little shadow and then you go back into the ether and nothingness. That's not true. I'm gonna give this song.
Wait, one more thing. More thing. So it says grains of sand in the end. He keeps repeating that line, grains of sand in the end, grains of sand. And like obviously grains of sand makes you think, like you said, the passage of time. Shout out to Kamala. The grains of sand coming through like the the time measure. What is that thing called? What happened?
Nothing.
I didn't make those. Okay. Incredible.
That's all right.
Yeah, so the grains of sand coming through that little time thing. I can't remember what it's called. But it kind of gives you this, like, everything just amounts to just grains of sand and doesn't really have, like, a lot of value. Like, it's happening, but when the sands pass through, like, it's just sand. But I wouldn't compare it. Like, I think that when you think of a blizzard, it's like, okay, there's just a bunch of white. It's just a snowstorm. But, we came from Maine, and I used to take a black piece of paper out in the wintertime a bunch of times when I was a kid and just hold it and then pull it down and just look at all the snowflakes because they were all so intricate and all so different. And, like, the crystals were like, I just couldn't believe that all of these beautiful little shapes were falling onto the ground and getting crushed beneath boots and tires and, like, how is all of this beauty like if you pull back you see a white storm but you look close and you see these beautiful crystals and like to me like the grains of sand like it's more than that. Like I understand the concept of grains of sand, and even like sometimes like in my most nihilistic mindsets or mentalities, like when it seems like everybody is just trudging forward in this timeline that pushes us forward and makes us care so little about the people beside us or so much about things that don't matter, and like you just kind of get trapped in this sort of like, like when you're watching the hamster run around in the wheel and going nowhere. But then he says you're made in the image and likeness of God, and he holds us as the apple of his eye, and he sings songs of deliverance over us when we sleep. So it's like, okay, we are valuable to the most valuable being in the universe. And that one said, you are all individuals, and you all carry a bit of my spirit in you, and you represent me to the world. And so on my darkest of days, I do feel we're just trudging forward like grains of sand. But in my most hopeful places and in the reading of the Bible and in the hope that God gives me, I'm like, no, we are so much more than that. And then, I'm going to get emotional. The grains of sand thing, because that concept does go in my head, then he always brings me back to the verse where he says, my thoughts are more in number than the sand on the seashore, which is an incredible thing. Like, how could he even have that many thoughts about us? It's a positive thing for me, but I understand you know, like, I think all of us, no, I don't think, all of us are both light and dark, and, you know, we kind of, like, lean one way or more on the other side, and so I understand homie's words here, but at the same time, it, like, hearing this and reading it, like, pushed me toward, like, the Psalm 139 thing, so, yeah, you should read it, it's really good.
Yeah, Waldo said, it's hard to accept our insignificance. And my question is, well, if the sky is really empty and you're just space dust, then where did the concept of significance come from in the first place? Mm-hmm. Secondly, the term significance has the term sign in it, right? S-I-G-N, significant. When you say something is significant, what you're saying is that that thing is a picture of something else, right? Because a sign is a director to something else. It's something that's pointing to something else. So if we're significant, what are we representing? What sign are we? When you say something is significant, you're saying you are a sign of what?
Yeah.
So I would just say, okay, Waldo, I see what you're saying. It's a very brave thing to say, I am insignificant and I know it. And a lot of people pat themselves on the back for coming to that conclusion and being able to accept it. But they don't ask the question, why is there a desperate plea in all human beings for significance in the first place if the sky is empty? Where did we come up with this concept of significance? Especially considering that there's a lot of times that the concept of significance in the first place is detrimental to human flourishing because for whatever reason, the guy doesn't believe that he's significant anymore, and so he jumps off a bridge or does whatever. And so that's a question that I don't think that a lot of my atheist friends are toggling with, which is, why do we care about significance in the first place if all there is mechanistic physicalism, where you're just here to consume to stay alive and then reproduce your gene profile to the next generation? I think there's a lot of holes in that worldview that doesn't really stand up to a lot of what we think about morality, love, etc., etc.
And I'm not sure if you can correlate the two, but I'm going to. Occam's razor, like the most obvious answer is usually the truthful one. And in this case, the way that you phrased the sentence, you said, it is hard for us to accept our own insignificance. Maybe that's because you shouldn't accept your insignificance. Maybe that's why it's so hard.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, like, you can find people's worldview in unguarded moment. So, for example, I am certain that if you're walking down the street and you heard a dad say to his son, now, son, I like you or not, but you really aren't worth anything in the grand scheme of things. There's no real difference between your value and the value of this branch over here that's off this tree. You guys are both worth equally the same thing because in a very short order, you're both going to go to the exact same place. I think anybody who walked by a father who said that to his kid would be absolutely horrified no matter what your worldview is. And I think, once again, that's one of those little, maybe there's something here. I'm going to give this song a, I love black metal, I'm sorry, 9.2.
9.5 for me.
There you are, dear listener.
We
shall return on the other side of the break. Vin out.
Sorry out.
Gone.
I'm Vin.
I'm sorry.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sorry says, $125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. $125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at itsorry@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review.
A positive review.
Get what you get.
It's just Rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/VinandSori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 here and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch, indeed. A child shall lead them.
To buy our merch.
Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear listener. We are at the beginnings of an ultra mega super duper stream. Stream.
You know what? I bet it is this poking out like that.
Guaranteed. That's probably what it is.
But I don't have any tape, so
We'll
that's where
fix
we
it
are.
in the next one. We just kind of like push this guy back here and push this guy back
Yeah, I don't know
here.
what's making it puff out like
Maybe we
that.
can get somebody to get that tape glue.
I have a bunch of duct tape, black and white. I'll do this. That'll work. That'll work for now. I think that's going to work right now.
All right. This is...
Here we are. Guys, the patrons from Patreon, so still right, have come together to pick our next song. This one is called Wanderer of Solitude, and the band is Thy Light.
Good
They
Lord.
said...
That does not sound inviting.
I know. Kellendross here. This pick was one of mine, he says. I just wanted to note that Thy Light is the work of a one man musically and another man lyrically.
Wow.
It's
Okay.
not fully a one-man project, but it's pretty close, he said. And he said for the month of October, we decided to focus on our tried and true subgenre that we focus on, black metal. Our victor was determined to be Thy Light, a depressive black metal band that began in Brazil, but is now based in Scotland. The track was selected and comes from their 2013 album, No Morrow Shall Dawn.
Wow. All right. No morrow shall dawn.
Prepare yourself. There's a lot of lyrics. They're going to take up the entire screen and then some.
Well, that's going to be an interesting development. All right. So here we go, guys. What did you say? What was the name of that? What was the title of the song?
The name of the song is Wanderer of Solitude.
All right. Here we go. Wanderer of Solitude. Let's go. They didn't even have the decency to send us a lyric video, eh?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
And I sent you the lyrics.
Wanderer of Solitude. Is this it?
Yeah, I was joking.
Wow. Wow, these dudes can play. Wow, that was what was the name of this band?
It's called Thy Light.
Thy
name of the
Light.
song is Wanderer of Solitude.
Man,
that was what they did with it. I thought was really actually pretty artistic, because he's talking about nostalgia, and when he describes what it is, nostalgia is a feeling throughout. Stated another way, we feel nostalgia, even dwelling in our own country beside the ones that are dearest to us. Despite a happy home and a happy family, a man may suffer, or woman, from nostalgia, simply because he feels that his soul is being limited, that it does not develop as he wishes. I thought that was interesting, that it does not develop as he wishes. Nostalgia is feeling powerless before the world, the pain of not being able to convey their spirituality to others. But then, so like that description of nostalgia, and then there was like this repetitive part to the song. It like went over and over and over. And then you kind of like get, and that's kind of like how nostalgia works. You know, like you kind of get like, it's like this feeling and this memory, and maybe it's connected to a smell or like a feeling or whatever. And you kind of get almost entranced by it, and you might return to different places in time or whatever, or maybe even places that you've never been to. And then like it was crazy, because so you're in this sort of like trance repetitive sound to the music, and then all of a sudden he like did this like thing that like hit you and was very disruptive, and I thought that it compared well to when you're in a nostalgic thought that brings like good feelings and good memories, but then that if you take that thought and you follow it on the timeline and it like bumps into something horrible, and you don't actually realize that horrible thing is coming because you're living in the nostalgia before you hit that moment of like reality of like where something was or what ended up happening. And so there's like that, and then he did that thing, so I thought it fit perfectly in that part. Yeah, it was musically really beautiful too. Nostalgia for what I can't repair.
It's interesting because he said a man suffers from nostalgia, which I thought was interesting, because anytime I think of nostalgia, I would not attach suffering to it. It's a really interesting way to look at it. I would not. No.
That's interesting. I would. Is it this?
No, it's not. Don't worry about it. I'll fix it in the commercial. Yeah, when I think about nostalgia, I don't look at it as suffering.
Wait.
Because he says a man suffers from nostalgia. Okay,
so when you experience nostalgia, there's no suffering connected?
No, the suffering for me relative to nostalgia is that it goes away. If I could live in that feeling, I would. Especially
the reality that feeling doesn't exist, that time doesn't exist.
The feeling and the time did exist.
Yeah, but
it actually happened.
It no longer happened. It's no longer happening.
Yeah, but that doesn't cause me suffering. It's the entire reason we have a memory in the first place, right? Like if you have a good memory of a time when you were the happiest in your life, like that's no longer the current situation you're in, but it's a good thing to remember it. So there's some people that interpret nostalgia as a good. I'm having less and less of those moments in my life. So I value the times when I had the opportunity for nostalgia, for sure. So, it's yeah, man. Like when you lose people and people go, like nostalgia is sometimes all you have of them. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't characterize that as suffering. But it was interesting when he talked about nostalgia is a feeling throughout. Stated another way, we feel nostalgia even dwelling in our own country besides the one that are dearest to us, despite a happy home and a happy family. A man may suffer from nostalgia simply because he feels that his soul is being limited, that it does not develop as he wishes. Nostalgia is feeling powerless before the world, the pain of not being able to convey their spirituality to others. So he's got two it looks like he's got two kinds of nostalgia here. The first one is just standard, nostalgia, and then the second one is the nostalgia that's bad because you're not able to communicate your spiritual feelings to people around you. I mean, I definitely think that could definitely be the case relative to nostalgia.
I kind of think it was 3 descriptions there, but
it's a very challenging thought process because, like, I remember when everybody was alive, and I would think about, we would reminisce about the old days, and we would think about those things, and it didn't have that tinge to it. But now, like, 2 out of the really 3 other people I grew up with in my life are gone. And so the nostalgia now is like the only way I can get to them in this life. So it's not the only time it's bad is when I wake up and then I realize, like, my brother's not going to respond to any of my messages on Facebook. I still message him a lot. Anytime there's a new thing that comes up or whatever, I'll still message him, but, So, I mean, for me, nostalgia is all I got of those people who were... I'd have laid my life down for my little brother, So not having him around is terrible, especially considering, the way he went out. But, yeah, so for me, like, I don't have a problem with nostalgia. Like, I wish I could have them. And even though I hate those moments when I realize, like, nah, dude, he's gone. But, like, I'm glad I had those, like, 4 seconds when I woke up and he wasn't gone. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, so for me, like, nostalgia is, I mean, I guess it could be suffering, but I'm not sure the nostalgia is causing me suffering, but the absence of the nostalgia, when I get back into the real world, whatever this world is, yeah, but I enjoy it for the few seconds that I have it when I have it, I guess. Yeah, and I know, yeah, man, and there's other people, there's other people that aren't here anymore, and, it's not because of me. Everybody, people did what they... I think the biggest thing is, like, losing... There's a certain kind of innocence that you lose if people keep dying around you. It's very hard to put into words. But there's certain situations that happen where it's like, literally, it was a game of inches, man. It was a game of inches. And, it doesn't matter what people tell you. As far as like, oh, man, like, we saw the situation, blah, blah, blah. It was impossible. There's nothing you could have done, But, I don't know, man. Like, there'd be people that would be here if you weren't off by inches, though. So, I'd love to go back to the timeline in my life where that was not where that wasn't a constant movie that gets replayed over and over again because you're always trying to remix the movie and come through. You know what I'm saying? So that you can, But, no, you couldn't come through, man. It's a game of inches. You missed. And, so, yeah, it's crazy. I don't really like this genre. I don't deal a lot with this genre. And Kellendros knows I hate this genre, so I don't really know why it was here. But, these guys, they did a good job. And I the concept of nostalgia as a form of suffering is an interesting one that I'm going to have to sit and think through. Maybe those, because there's people I think about, there's people I talk to in my head. I don't know. Maybe that's all just suffering. Maybe I need to, I don't know, man. I think from what I've known with guys, it's like shit will happen or it won't. You don't get to say in it. Yeah, man. You know, yeah, I guess. But anyway, go ahead. Dominating conversation.
Well, I mean, I did the whole first half of it, explaining what I thought about it and stuff, so I think we're even. Yeah.
Yeah, BC, that line right there. There was a time when you and your friend played your last time together and none of you knew it. It's true.
Yeah.
You know, it's true. I had no idea. I had no idea. So yeah, man, you know. But anyway, it was a really, really good song. It really was. I hate the genre, but it's a good song. It's a silent count for me. R.I.P. Scooter, you bitch. Damn.
It's a silent count for me as well. For obviously very different reasons than Vince. Still, nostalgia is the topic. Yeah. That was a tough listen for sure.
But those dudes know how to write, though. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna take nothing away from them dudes. They know how to write for show.
Silent count is a heavy honor here. So.
Yeah, it's sad but beautiful. I'm glad to have you around, BC. Plus, I got to talk to BC today, so it can't be that bad, right? By the way, happy Thanksgiving, anybody on the East Coast. It's 12 o'clock, so we officially made it to Thanksgiving. Mashallah tabaraka. And yeah, you know, this shit reminds you what's important. I mean, I know it's important because I'm scared to death of anybody else in my circle dying. So I already know what's important to me, but it's just not something I can control. And even when I was in situations I could control, you know, you didn't come through for people, man. People died, so it is what it is. All right, guys, I'll see you on the other side of the break. Fin out.
Sorry out.
Gone. Shit. I'm Vin.
I'm sorry.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sorry says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at itsorry@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
They do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/VinandSorry. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sorry and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 here and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch. And then Led Zeppelin.
Buy our merch indeed, a child shall lead them.
To buy our merch.
Hold on. Look, nobody's seeing us. What happened?
When you clean your camera.
Huh?
When you clean your camera.
All right, guys, stand by for a second.
Oh, you didn't flip the...
I did flip it. What is it?
It's paused? Because it's showing this plate.
There we go.
Wait, that's too far.
Yeah, it's too far. God, you are the worst.
Why is it doing that?
Let me see.
Something must have gotten changed in the settings.
What do you mean?
Oh, is it panned out so far?
Oh, that worked.
Get behind the scenes.
Huh?
We're getting real behind the scenes.
That's good. We got
There you go, you got it.
We got the studio light up.
What happened?
You got this thing called center stage, and it tries to center you no matter where you are on the camera.
Mm-hmm.
But because it wasn't solid, it was confused. Okay, guys. All right. Now we are getting into. What's his face wanted us to cancel. Archero, just for everybody's knowledge, that was a 10.5-minute song. So that's 2 songs. So that's 4. So now we're gonna go into the, what do you call it?
Imperishable Flame.
The Imperishable Flame. So I'm gonna kill this stream at the request. I think it was Archero.
Okay.
Wanted us to kill the stream and restart a new one so people didn't get confused. So we're gonna kill this stream, and then we've got an 8-song stream from the Imperishable Flames right after this commercial break. So we're gonna kill this, and then we're gonna restart it again so we can honor Archero's request. Here we are. Okay, so stay tuned, dear listener. Vin out.
Sorry, out.
Gone. No, Archero, not after this next one. We have done 1 song, 2 songs, and then the 3rd song was 10.5 minutes, which is 2 songs, right? This is not new. We've talked about this from the beginning. So there's no there is a 4th song. We just did it because that was a 10.5-minute song.
Right, which takes a slot of 2, so that's...
That takes 2 slots, correct.
That's
no,
cool.
we're not. We're not, Archero. We're not doing Lunar Chamber tonight.
No, that'll go on the next stream.
Kellandros, please explain to everybody, if you do a song past 10 minutes, that counts as 2 songs. Right? This has been the policy from the beginning. Archero, please, Kellandros, explain it to your people. Okay, so we're going to finish this and then restart. Let's go. Yes, Dark Lumen. What do you mean, no, you agree to give us 1 10-minute song?
I don't know if...
What is he talking
He's
about?
saying that we agreed to do 1 song over 10 minutes. I don't remember that. I don't know if you remember that.
Misery, who sent you that email? Because Kellandros, this has been our policy for what do you mean? What meeting? Which meeting is he talking about?
I don't remember that at all.
Wait. What meeting, Misery Biz? How much to jump this shit to the top for a song? I don't know. We're just having a conversation here. We're having a conversation. We'll talk about it. Which meeting, Kellandros? I'll talk to Kellandros. Kellandros says that he's not lying, so we're just going to wait. Hold on. What meeting are you talking about, Kel? We talked about it during our video meeting a few months ago. What did we talk about? Whoa. Kellandros, jump on for a second. Are you saying that we had a conversation months ago about this particular stream? Just wait. I'm waiting. We're talking about this particular stream? Kellandros, just tell me yes or no. Did I say a couple months back that on this particular stream we're going to violate the 10-minute rule? I don't care. If you say that we were talking about that, I'm good with it. Just say yes or no, Kellandros. That's all I need to know. I mean, I doubt Kellandros would lie. Well, I'm not saying he's lying. Kellandros, just tell me yes or no. Did I say I was gonna do it? Yes or no? Why is it so hard for you atheists to give a straight up answer? He's killing me.
He says yes.
Okay. Well, Kellendraw says yes. No, the policy... Okay. We're going to do the song, but I'm going to reiterate what the policy is. Anything over 10 minutes counts as 2 songs. There have been many times when we've done alliance streams when we've only done 3 songs because there's been a song that's gone over 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Kellendraw... Okay. Go ahead.
I think I remember that what they're saying as they were like wording it out, but I thought that like with since that meeting we had text conversations where I thought it was communicated that it's for this time period, that there was going to be a time period where it's only for, because before I remember we were doing long ones.
It's okay. We're going to do this song because we said we would do it. Going forward, anything past 10 minutes is 2 songs, okay? And this has happened a bunch of times. If you look at old Trello, whatever, you'll see that people break down the 10 plus minute songs into 2 songs. As a matter of fact, that was like that in the current, in this one too, wasn't it?
No, in this one they had. Okay, I thought there was only 4 written there.
That's okay. Don't worry about it. Okay, so there's no fighting. Going forward, 2 songs is 10 plus minutes. That's it. Okay, so everybody knows about it. It's cool. No problem. No sweat. In fact, it's still 2 songs. That hasn't changed. Okay, so that means we're doing 5 songs on a 4-song stream, right? If we're doing the math correctly, which is not a problem. We're going to do it tonight. But again, the policy is anything over 10 minutes counts as 2 songs going forward, and we're only doing 4 songs for an alliance stream. Mm-hmm. So that's all there. Mm-hmm. Everything is cool. We're about to do this song. What's the name of this song now? I think I already downloaded it. Hopefully. Is it Mirror of Madness from Norther?
It is Lunar Chamber, Spirit, Body, and the Seeing
Son
Self.
of a bitch. Where's Lunar Madness? Norther, Mirror of Madness. Hold on, guys. Let me download it. I mean, you don't have to explain anything to me, bro. You don't have to explain anything to me. I'm just letting everybody know. Anything past 10 minutes is 2 songs. We're only going to do 4 songs for alliance streams. No problem. All right, so
Jeez, Ben.
Talk to the people.
You better timestamp this moment for posterity.
Talk to the people. I'll be
back. All right,
back.
you guys. We can do a random Ask Me Anything. I'm gonna bring up the.
Holy shit! Is this even English?
Okay.
Hold on. Let me see if I got the. All right.
Well, a random. Random Ask Me Anything.
See, look, it said placeholder for 10 plus minute highlight song.
Right. So
they had 2 entries for this thing.
Right.
Okay. But which one is the song, though?
Keep scrolling down. It's right here. This one. Boop.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay. Sally's pick. Gotcha.
Yes.
Lunar Chamber. Oh,
all right, you guys. I'm refreshing to bring up all the fresh comments. Let's see what you guys have to say.
Is somebody finally going to ask you a question? One of these Ask Me Anythings?
I don't know.
It never happens.
It's weird because when you refresh the chat here, it all deletes. Okay, you guys, if you have anything to say.
Oh, on the restream thing?
Yeah, I don't know why that happens. It like pauses and then when you reset.
Yeah, they don't really care about that aspect of their business.
Dwayne, if it's 9 minutes and 59 seconds, no problem. No problem at all. Because that's not 10 minutes. BC, let's see. Not since alcohol. What happened not since alcohol, Waldo?
Wait.
And where are you?
Yeah, I was going to say, is he in trouble?
People must make that joke all the time to him.
What, not since the alcohol?
Where's Waldo? He said, where are you?
Oh, because his name is Waldo.
Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah. Ranger, BC, I'm about to spend a fortune to get you to listen to nothing but be a vocal. Okay. Restream is annoying. Yeah, I think that it should work better. If you have to pay for something, it should be very smooth.
Ridiculous. Restream is legit. It's been a lifesaver.
Yeah, but
ungrateful brats.
It should still be. I mean, I should be able to see my comments. Okay, I think that's kind of important. Fix that glitch.
Right. We'll fix it.
Okay. IVF. Oh boy, well, that's a loaded one.
Somebody asked you about IVF?
Well, it's Hunter. You know, he always asks the loaded questions.
It's not a very loaded question to me. I've always
had. What are your thoughts on IVF? Yeah.
I always had a singular position on IVF.
Okay.
But he asked you. He didn't ask me. I'm trying to download this song.
No, it specifically says, Vin, what are your thoughts on IVF?
Oh, I think it's terrible. I think it's horrible. You're going out there and creating all these lives and then dumping away the ones you.
Have you heard of?
I'll say it this way. I don't see how you can be pro-life and support that practice. Like, I can understand pro-choice people supporting that practice, no problem. Mm-hmm. I don't see how you can be a pro-life person and consistently support IVF.
So I'm not sure if you know, like, some of the stuff that goes on, but basically when you go in, because people are paying so much money to have this process done, they want to take as many of the eggs as they can from the woman to fertilize as many as they can in a single shot, so that way she has the best shot. So you're taking eggs from an optimal environment of the mother's body, and you're putting them in a petri dish, and then you're fertilizing it with sperm that way, and you're trying to keep it in an optimal environment when it's not that. So you've essentially set up these fetus, the starts of these babies to fail. And then what they do is they look at all of them and they grade them. A, B, C. I'm pretty sure it was that was the letters grading system. And then they take the best ones, and the ones that are a certain number on, they get rid of them. They just throw them away. And then the ones that are of a certain caliber, some of them they'll implant in the mother's womb, and the other ones they freeze. So now you've put it in like the craziest environment, because it's the opposite of a womb, and it was already crazy to begin with, but now it's even more significantly, whatever. So now you've put these babies in a frozen state. So other people, I'm pretty sure they're called snow babies, can adopt these snow babies, but some of them just don't. They just stay on ice forever.
Yeah, that dude that his girl just got that D1 contract to go to that school. That was their ministry. They adopted like two, I think it's snow babies, or I forgot what it's snow something.
I thought it was snow babies.
But yeah, like they adopted
or maybe
two
it
of
was
them.
snowflake babies. I don't know.
It was crazy. The story's crazy. As a matter of fact, I think the basketball girl is one of them. I'm not sure.
No kidding.
Yeah. He did that interview like 10 years ago, and yeah, she's definitely going to be in the WNBA. Definitely.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's a crazy story for sure. She's going to be a really cool story when her story gets out and she becomes big and famous and stuff. I mean, she's getting heavily recruited by D1 schools, so she was pretty well known already. That's going to be a crazy story. All right, we
so some people freeze them and some people just toss
finally
them
got
away,
this thing
so
downloaded. All right, guys.
It creates a lot of moral dilemmas, especially when
there's no moral dilemmas for me.
Well, I agree. It seems pretty cut and dry to me as well, but especially when you consider how many kids are just in the system being abused and not taken care of.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. What I'll say, I want good people in the U.S. having kids that they want to raise to be good people. My wife, Morat, and I have been married for 20 plus years and have no kids, so have some.
Oh.
Okay, I'm with it. Okay, so I will say, though, I do think that the IVF discussion is a different discussion than the abortion discussion, in the sense that I think a lot of women don't understand, especially a lot of Christian women, especially a lot of pro-life women, don't understand the complete ramifications until it's too late. Mm-hmm. And so I don't want to, and if you've had an abortion, I don't want to condemn you either. If you've taken part in IVF, I don't want to condemn you. I'm not here to condemn. Jesus didn't come to condemn. He came to save. Yeah. People ask the opinion on it. That's my opinion on it. I don't think we should play God, and I don't think that we should do what Sori said. But I also know, because I was one of Sori's close friends. She was my best friend, and when she was struggling with fertility issues, I was face to face with it, and I saw how much it tore her up inside. And it was weird. Like, even after she had you had a daughter, there was like a 7-year gap, I think, between when you had, Orion. Mm-hmm. And so I saw how difficult that was for her. And
to this day, like literally this day, the pain of that has not left me. I mean, part of the reason why I was emotional today was that. So. It's so, I don't want to sound like I'm a person judging people in that situation either, because not only was I close in that situation because I lived through it, but also I was very close to somebody else that I watch go through it as well. And the emotions and everything that goes through it, like, it's a pretty pure desire to have children and to want to have children and raise them and love them, and especially when you hear of other people abusing their kids and bad things happening to people's kids because they don't take care of them, and it's like, why is this person just able to pop babies out like nothing, and you're over here wanting to give them a good life or whatever. So I understand all of that, and I know that you do get really, really desperate when you really want children. And so I don't say desperate in like a pathetic desperate sort of way, but like desperate in like where you really want it. And so I understand. It makes sense to me why somebody would maybe not look into the details and just be like, oh, here's an opportunity for us to have a baby, or for somebody to overlook some of the moral quandaries that, but I saw somebody go through it, and I saw the difficulties that they had to face because they didn't realize until each step that they got to that, oh my gosh, here's another moral situation, here's another one, here's another. It just was like a lot more things than they thought that,
It must be hard being a woman in this culture, man. I mean, God, it's you can't win, and it's crazy being a woman. Like, your fertility and your reproductive whatever is always center stage every 2 to 4 years. Ugh. That's what I'm saying. It's so hard to have any judgments against these people, because it's just like, man, like, it's like they can't do anything to win in this culture. It's crazy. By the way, BC, rest in peace to your dog, bro. Like, that's no bueno. No bueno at all. So
did that just happen?
Yeah, he said his dog died on Friday.
Whose dog?
BC.
BC. Oh.
Yeah, shit. I know. He's like the last person on the planet that should happen to.
Oh my God.
But anyway, shout out to BC. Thank you, BC, for giving me that video chat today, my boy. I'm gonna go back and download that for posterity. All right, guys, here we go. This is Lunar Chamber. It's spirit, body, and the shambolic vibrations. Okay, this is gonna be some. This looks like it's gonna be some Kabbalistic mysticism here. You got the lyrics?
Yeah. Let me just. Oh, that's the wrong one. It's this one. Okay. So this is Kellandros is the leader of this group. This group is called the Extreme Underground. Again, one of our patron groups. Let's see what they have to say. Lunar Chamber is a 4-piece progressive death doom metal band from Atlanta, Georgia. This song comes from their first and only release, Shambolic Vibrations, released just last year. This was the winner from a 29-song playlist chosen by Fally.
Yo, I'm like, I get like glimpses of those conversations because of the Discord thing.
Yeah.
They had me on read only for like, I don't know, months. So I could never respond. But like and it's funny too, because when you don't respond, then they start shit talking to you or whatever. So somebody said something one time, and I was like, oh yeah, because I finally was able to chat in there, and like all the eyeballs started like, yeah, I heard what you said, but it's all right. It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. Shout out to the big homie Fally. For some reason, he's not here.
Probably because it's so late.
Probably because it's so late. All right, here we go. Lunar Chamber, Spirit, Body, and the Shambolic Vibrations. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Got the lyrics?
Yes, I'm coming with them. Did I send them already?
Is that it?
That is not what I thought.
Okay, sorry.
That is not what I thought.
I did not believe that this song was going to be this way. I thought it was going to be some mystical shit.
Yeah, all right. You probably are giving them a bad rating from me because you did that. I thought this is going to be something like me and Kai would pick.
I did not. I did not give a bad rating to this. I didn't.
No, I'm saying you're giving it. You're pushing that on me now because you said it was going to be one way, and I like expected that, and then it started. I'm like, what?
Okay, one of the villagers is friends with the bassist from this band. Apparently, says Kellandros. Doesn't Kellandros have a? Kellandros has a channel. It's called like Chords and Notes or something like that.
Really?
Kellandros, tell them the name of your channel. Okay, all right, we got to rewind this again because we got taken off guard. All right, here we go. Timestamp. Do the timestamp 220.
change it?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. Shambolic something. This is for Fally. Let's go, baby. Different on the fourth go around. a bassist right now. This is a bassist right now.
Oh, it's getting good.
Oh, man. Listen, oh, ruthless. There is no Ruth in you right now.
Listen. I haven't had this strong of a reaction for a song since, you know what? This will be a compliment to the band. What was it? It was a Mozart song, wasn't it? No, who was it that I gave a really Bach?
Oh, yeah, Bach. Yeah, Bach. When what's her face wouldn't forgive you.
That level of agitation that I get with certain music.
She really held that shit against you. I thought she was joking. I went to her after. I'm like, yo, we good, blah blah blah. She's like, nah, fuck her. Shout out to the homie. Not really, but go ahead. Go ahead.
No.
What's going on? What's going on with you?
No. Okay. So you guys know this about me. There are just some songs that hit me like. That's as annoying.
Listen, what do we say? I can't guarantee you a positive review. All right, go ahead. What was your problem?
I didn't like it. I really think, honest to God, babe, I think this is your fault. Because when you said, oh, this is going to be one of those whatever, and I saw look at the thing.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be some like Gnostic, like
how are you going to call it? What is it? Some Bali vibrations? Okay. Well, I don't like those kind of vibrations. Sayla, take this, please. We don't have space.
Yeah, Jazakallahu khair.
What? Sure. Here. No.
Okay. First of all, I am going to appeal to Kellendros for this because I know Kellendros plays guitar. If you're a guitarist, you know that what these people pulled off on this song was incredible. You also know that when you heard the song, if you're a guitarist, your forearm started to clench up because you know that song is damn near impossible to play. I want to see them play this song live because what they did instrumental-wise was insane. Especially the bassist, Fieldy from Korn has this kind of thing, but it's kind of a click sound, and it's cool. But like, what this guy did to the bass was crazy. So I understand, whatever. But the other thing is, we've literally listened to thousands of songs, so this was more like in the avant-garde genre. Decibel Omega, I think, would be like the premier one. Shout out to BM Fan, by the way. I'm not going to put out your business out there, buddy, but shout out to BM Fan. Yeah, so like, this had more of a Decibel Omega type vibe. And so, like, in the first kind of 20 seconds, I switched, and I'm like, okay, this is a Decibel Omega type band. This is not going to be like a quirky. I was thinking like, some like shoegaze. I'm dropping all these genres now because I'm a connoisseur.
You're knowledgeable.
I'm knowledgeable, dear listener. I'm a connoisseur. Go ahead.
This is literally, babe, you put that video that I just sent you.
God.
Put that. This is literally what I thought of.
All right. Hey, you guys should check out our YouTube shorts. If you look on the thing, you can go and you can see shorts. There's a lot of really cool stuff there. A lot of interesting conversations.
Ben, I don't trust you guys.
Debates are going. Here we go.
And just steer me wrong. Look, this is.
There's a reason I can't take my husband on a road trip.
Wait. You stop it. Pause it.
All right.
Yeah, you actually have to get the proper shape.
Okay, I'm gonna get the proper shape. Stand by, dear listener.
And you're ruining this. Ugh.
What is it? It's a tall shape, right?
Yeah, probably. But you got to rewind it.
I'm gonna rewind.
But you should have been showing that.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna play this. Hold on, guys. Soraya says that this song reminded her of this video.
This short, yes. You'll understand.
This should be interesting. You'll probably see this short in all of its glory by itself on our channel as well if you check out our song selection. Here we go.
There's a reason I can't take my husband on road trips, because we still have another 4 hours of this, and I'm gonna listen to this the entire time.
Well, very historic. Very New York. Very cornfield. Very New York. Very bridge.
I don't get
that. What do you mean you don't get it? Oh, you don't get it.
That little video was like the video version of what you guys are saying about the song.
Yes, that's exactly. That's how I feel about the song, and I literally thought to myself.
What do you mean that's how you feel about the song? What do you feel about the song?
The way that she was describing it. She said, "This is why I hate going on road trips with my husband," or something like that, because I have to listen to this crap for the next 4 hours. And he was like, "It's historical. It's blah blah," blah. And that he was like trying to make it sound better, but like the level of frustration you could see on her face because she truly hates his music. I was just thinking when this was playing, I'm so happy that you're not going to play this song in the car.
What, this one?
Yeah.
I think you're wrong about that.
No, I think that you're wrong in that I would not make some, like, I listen to a lot of your music in the car, but this one I would not. This one I would put my foot down. I would say, please, sir, put your headphones. I cannot handle this.
I would put my headphones on and listen to it. The reason why is because I would listen to this song a lot.
BC.
I would listen to the song a lot because I know that if I found a way to replicate what these guys did with the guitar, that would bring me up. That would bring me up pretty high. Oh my God. 27, 270. One of these days, I'm going to take a trip to go hang out with 27 and exchange some pictures with him. He said, straight up 22 SAS mouth. Wow. Wow. What a horrible person. And only like 3 of us know why he's horrible. Okay. All right. So you didn't like it sonically. What about the parts where it was getting melodic though?
I can't tell you how much I did not like this song. And so I could not even hear those parts of it. Like the whole thing. Remember when I listened? I mean, it was Bach. Who doesn't like Bach?
You.
But me, I hated it. I hated it. And I can't even, I don't know why.
Yeah, but
like this song.
You obviously have some sort of medical condition or something.
Oh my God.
No. I'm saying like.
Wow.
No, I'm saying like to Bach. I'm sure if you talk to a therapist or something that they would be like, okay, here's, you know what I'm saying? But this, I don't compare to your disliking of Bach. This is just, in my opinion, you guys, all of you, not just you guys are just lazy metalheads. Okay? You just want everything handed to you on a silver platter. Sometimes you have to work to enjoy a song, okay? Because they're coming at you with structures that are different from the standard 4/4 structure that all you losers are used to.
Say what you want, but no, I'm not gonna try and force myself to enjoy music. The fuck?
No,
that's the exact opposite of what this entire endeavor is. No,
I'm not saying force yourself to enjoy music. I don't force myself to enjoy music, but I know genius when I see it. I also know how difficult it is to play what these guys were playing, at least on the guitar. You know what?
You're probably 1,000, and I'm sure, I mean, Bach is, I mean, it's Bach, but it doesn't matter. Like, it just hit me the wrong way. And this one, honestly,
like I said, really the Bach hate is some sort of diagnosable issue, okay? This one, I understand. I completely understand because it's more of an avant-garde type of thing. And I think if he would have told us from the beginning this band is an avant-garde band, then we would have been able to, you know, we would have been prepared.
Yeah, you can't call it shambolic vibrations.
No, it's not the same as Prague because Prague, these guys go off on, 15 minutes soliloquies with their guitar that have no connection whatsoever sonically to what they did before. Go ahead.
Spirit, body, and the seeing self. Like, I thought that I was gonna, listen to this song and like feel like I was on a DMT. I've never taken a DMT trip. I'm just saying what they describe it to be like. I thought this song was gonna kind of like make me feel that way, and then all of that.
I don't care what people say. I don't care what people say. There's nothing sonically.
I'm sorry.
There's no kind of music that's going to be equivalent to a DMT trip. I don't care. It's just no.
No. I understand what you're saying, but there are some songs that we've had here on the channel that like just kind of bring you into like a trance. It just like ushers you right into it, and you're like on this journey, and then all of a sudden you're like, holy shit, that was... It's almost like dreaming. Like all of a sudden you wake up, you're like, oh shit, I was asleep. That whole thing was a dream. Like sometimes the music is like that. Like it takes you on a journey, and you're like, oh, wow, we were in a song. Oh my gosh. Like it's like very like journey-like. I don't know. But this was like when I go to cook in the kitchen, and the kids decided to rearrange the kitchen. I'm not joking you. And then like, you're like, where's the friggin' spatula? What? Oh, it must be... No, it's not in the spatula drawer. Oh, look, it's over by the sugar. Where's the salt? It's not in the spice cabinet. Oh, look, they decided to put that down by the pots and pans. Like, I don't know why these things happen, but they do. And, like, when each stage of the cooking process, there's a certain amount... There's, like, a certain number of those, depending on the day that it is, and my irritation level, and, like, it's... This is that. Mm-mm.
If
Dwayne is here, he's going to be happy.
To intend, what reason can we find? Get that cup out of the way. To intend, what reason can we find beyond this perception we are given? What lies in those reaches' vastness? Attempted transmutation into spirit body. What knowledge lies in the east? What secrets flow in those mountains from which blesses the crystalline light? Are you kidding me? These lyrics are so beautiful.
The lyrics are interesting.
Why did you mortify them with those horrible vocals?
What? I thought you liked it so much you were going to play it in the car.
I was talking about the musicianship. I would be fine if the vocals were like, rah, 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 Cookie Monster, I'm going to kill you and eat your spleen. But these guys are saying something really significant. Look at it. Attempted transmutation into spirit body. What knowledge lies in the east? What secrets flow in those mountains from which blesses the crystalline light? I mean, that is beautiful lyricism.
Right.
Especially when you're talking about what knowledge lies in the east. Traversal across a breadth of peaks will yield knowledge of the beyonds. The solo comes, then it says, before those cloud-piercing peaks is a grassland filled with joy. At the end of the waving lands lay the foot of the mountains. I met an elder one, an old man. Harmonious chords sing from the ancient's throat. Each rung tells me of a direction I must go. Unlocking of the vault under a hearkened aura, which lies before must be a sacred chamber. What lies before must be a sacred chamber. Enter a visage of a woven spiritual fabric, spirit body, seeing self, reign inward. Beautiful lyrics. To intend, what reason can we find beyond this perception we are given? What lies in those reaches' vastness? Meditation in the cage, wow. The one self, or is it my body? No, your body is not a cage. The Lord Jesus is going to resurrect your physical body. You'll be in a physical body forever. Solo, Time Warm Nexus. Okay, this is, they're labeling the solos. Okay, Enlightened Bloodletting. That just sounds like you don't like being on the planet anymore, and you're going to do something to get yourself off the planet, but you're going to try to find some way to talk about it in some poetic fashion. Enlightened Bloodletting. Unlocking the vault under a hearkened aura, what lies before must be a sacred chamber.
I will say that line, enlightened bloodletting, right before when you're really about to go into like active labor, like you'll start to bleed, and like whenever I see that blood like start coming, it sounds crazy, but when I see that and I'm like that baby is coming, like it is an enlightening bloodletting. That I would say for that is a really beautiful way to word that, because that moment is extremely significant to me, and it's also significant to me in the opposing view side, because I lost a child. So this one is bloodletting that brings life. So that enlightened, like, those, like, the moments are just about to get, like, you've already been in pain for a long time, but once that, like, for some reason it feels like a release, even though nothing has really changed. But like, I don't know, I can't describe it, but that line is enlightened bloodletting. That's probably gonna hit my journal. I hated the song, but these lyrics are really good. Interesting.
Unlocking of the vault under a hearkened aura, what lies before it must be a sacred chamber. Enter a visage of woven spiritual fabric, spirit body seeing self, reign inward. This seems to me like a very romanticized understanding or a Gnostic understanding of self-harm that then releases you from the prison, which was your body, into a world of spiritual fabric.
Transmutation.
Yeah, it's a spiritual you know, he's getting sent off into the spirit world because, again, you've got enlightened bloodletting, which I'm perceiving as, you know, bloodletting. And then after the enlightened bloodletting, look what it says: unlocking of the vault under a hearkened aura. So it looks to me like that's what he's talking about as his body, because it says what lies before must be a sacred chamber. So initially he talked about his body as a trap. Then he does the enlightened bloodletting, and then he's out of his body looking down at it and saying what lies before must be a sacred chamber. So, in my opinion, he finds out too late that his physical body was actually a sacred thing he should have taken care of. Right? So, it was hard to decipher the lyrics, I think, for everybody else, because everybody was so focused on... I forgot who it was. I think it was Dwayne that said, "I'm lost." And like, it's interesting because when you're learning guitar, one of the craziest things when I bought my first guitar book was they used this term called phrasing. And I thought that was really interesting because they were talking about, okay, you've got a collection of notes and chords and da-da-da-da-da, and then they were talking about phrasing. And it really, I think Dimebag was the best at this, was making the guitar talk. I think Dime was the best at that, like, of all time, like, ever. His phrasing was just so crazy because it dovetailed so perfectly with what the verbal phrasing was from Phil Anselmo. So...
Well, you said that he played the guitar perfectly to match the words of the vocals?
Well, his phrasing of the guitar, the way that he ordered the notes and things, that it's supposed to tell a story...
Yeah?
Blended perfectly with the lead singer's actual vocalization, actual words.
Wow.
Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and that's what I thought you were saying.
That's one of the reasons that Dimebag, to me, is, you know, he's got to be in the GOAT conversation. I understand Jimi Hendrix. The guy was a powerhouse unto himself. To me, I don't personally understand why Jimi Hendrix gets as much hype as he does. We've covered a few of those songs, and they're okay. I just don't understand him being the GOAT and all the rest of it. I don't understand it. But Tony Blackmore, yeah, I got you on that. That makes sense.
I mean, I think lyrically it was... I didn't even catch the lyrics. The vocals were so repulsive to me. And I didn't even honestly...
Wait. The vocals were just typical deaf vocals. There wasn't anything like...
No, I did not like them. And I don't know if it was a combination of that. And maybe I liked the music, but I couldn't get past... I don't know. There was something about what I was hearing from this one that I just completely did not like. These lyrics, though. These lyrics are really... I see what you're saying. Definitely does seem sort of... like that... I thought it kind of sounded like a spiritual journey, like this, what lies in those reaches vastness, attempt to transmit into the spirit body. I thought that part was like, what do you call that? When you like leave your body and you go places. What's that called?
Astral projection.
Yeah. I thought it was like astral projection, and then also talking about like, you know, what knowledge lies in the east. Like, you know, you see people in those places where they're kind of like, well, what's going on over there? And you assume that because you believe the way that you do over here, that maybe over there they figured out some secrets that we don't really know because, you know, like, I think that sometimes because we're made up of body, soul, and spirit, you can have a religion that's really body focused, or you can have a religion that's really spirit focused, and then other ones that are very soul focused. So we're like, all of that is a holistic spiritual experience. And so, like, you know, like, I think that some of the traditions within Christianity are supposed to be more soulful than they are. And I think that because the soul is lost and it's become just a ritual of, you know, tip the cup back, crunch the cracker, and move on, that, you know, when it's done like that, then you miss the meaning, the deep meaning. Like, I was in a church one time that that expression of communion was otherworldly. It was incredible. And it was something, you know, the elements that you had in your hand were so common, but it, like, there was such a spiritual energy that was there when that was going on, and such a purity in the hearts of the people that were involved in it, where not a purity as in they were perfect people, but a purity in that everybody recognized that they were not perfect people. And in fact, they needed that resurrection, that they needed that death of the Savior. And so it was just like a totally different experience. But yeah, I think that, you know, whether we recognize it or not, I think that we're in search of something, and that something being Jesus. But yeah, this song, what a crazy song, because I friggin' hated it, but I love those lyrics, and that part's gonna end up in my journal tonight.
This is getting a solid 9.2 for me. I liked it. I don't care what none of y'all say.
I'm giving this song this song an additional 2 points because the lyrics were good.
Okay, so where does that bring it?
That brings it to a 2. I literally hated this song. You will remember I gave Bach like a negative something. Mm-hmm. So, you know, just be glad it's not a negative something. It was a 0. And then I gave it, you know, points for the lyrics. I could give it 1 more point because it's going to end up in my journal, and that would bring it to a 3. There you go, Dwayne. You don't have to be so sad about the 3.5
that's
anymore.
Funny. Dwayne says those lyrics were not in the song.
What?
The enlightened bloodletting. That's what they.
Oh no! Yeah.
They titled the solo "Enlightened Bloodletting."
That's okay. Well, yeah, but they still titled it something. I gave it the points for the other stuff that was in it. Who said that? Dwayne. He wants me to give him a horrible. 2 is too high. He says.
This is the quote of the week for me. Jerry would not comment, but know that you are foolish. All right. All right. Commercial break. We'll be right back. Holy moly. Vin out.
Sorry out.
Hey, I love you guys, man. You guys give me an interview. Maybe the bassist can teach me a couple lifts. Don't listen to these people. Don't let them discourage you.
Listen, I don't even have to be there for the interview if I've offended you too much.
They probably don't want you around in the interview. We'll talk to you later. Talk to the block guys. Very friendly.
I'm Vin.
I'm sorry.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sorry says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at itsorry@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish. 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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/VinandSorry. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sorry and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 here and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed. A child shall lead them. You guys are killing me today.
Buy our merch.
Guys.
Oh, no, that's official.
The song that you sent us is the official this Thigh Caffle K thing is the official album. Okay? It's from the Seasons of Mist group, which has blocked us millions of times. Please do not send us official songs, because if you do, they will get blocked and the entire stream will get blocked. So please, for the love of God, stop sending us official songs. Now, I'm going to find some way to do this song without the thing getting blocked, but you guys are absolutely killing me. Seriously.
Yeah.
Talk to the people.
We already actually have like strikes and warnings on our channel from doing stuff like this. And you know, if YouTube shuts us down, we're essentially fired. We have many children.
All right. So I'm gonna download this thing, and inshallah, we won't get killed by the YouTube fascists. Talk to the people while I handle this situation.
All right, you guys, let's do a random Ask Me Anything. While we're waiting. Now remember, when I bring up the stream here. Oh, here we go. Everything's still here. Oh, wonderful. Let's see. What are you guys having to say? Play. I'm not gonna read that. Sounds gross.
Yeah, Seasons of Mist. Not only do they block shit, but they will they will strike you. But the show must go on,
right,
dear
negative,
listener.
True.
The show must go on. So we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it because this is what we do. We aim to please.
Wait, is this one Ben's pick?
Yeah, it looks like Ben Bear on there.
Oh, because well, it was a little confusing because Ranger's like, I don't know the shit that caused you guys problems, so I can't avoid it.
Ain't got nothing to do with you, bruh. Ain't got nothing to do with you.
Look.
What did he say? I'm not looking.
Middle says this is Archero's fault.
I'm not looking at nothing.
I'm just saying.
If you look. Listen, I'm gonna be real with y'all. You purposely chose a song that was official, knowing that it would fuck with us, and now you want us to create a separate thing because you knew that you were gonna get the entire stream blocked.
No, that's not what's happening.
No, he said that's exactly why we want to separate the stream from the Alliance one. Because they know that this thing is about to get blocked and it's going to block the whole thing.
They're saying, yeah, they assume that those people are going to do that to us. Yeah, that is what they're saying.
Yeah, that could literally destroy our channel, guys. You guys are killing me. You're absolutely killing me. So here's what's going to happen. If we have to suffer, you have to suffer. Hopefully, this will help everybody be more considerate of everybody else. Because this is crazy. We've told you guys a million times that we get blocked, we get copyright strikes, all type of shit. I'm with it, but I'm not gonna. If we're gonna pay, y'all are gonna pay. It's that simple. God, you guys are killing me. It's not like we haven't talked about this, fellas. It's not like we haven't talked about this. All right, here we go. Now we're not gonna blame Led Zeppelin, bro. You sent me an official album. And you guys all knew what would happen to us, and you sent it anyway. So, no. We're going to play it, and all of us are going to suffer together. I'm not cutting up shit. Here we go.
And don't forget, Twitter and Rumble,
that shit,
don't
man.
block it.
Like,
so
be considerate. Be considerate, guys. That's all I'm saying.
I mean,
and look, if you want to have your copyrighted song, then wait till the freaking end. Wait till the end, then. You know what I'm saying? But y'all are killing me right now.
I mean,
Archero, you guys should have had that conversation about creating a safe video before 1:11 a.m., bro. I'm not mad at y'all, but this has happened to us literally dozens of times, and you guys keep sneaking them in. I'm not mad at you. Go for it. But all of us are going to suffer together if that's how we're going to play it, because y'all are killing me.
Okay, so Archero's saying he can make an unofficial.
It's too late. We're going to play it. Simple.
The show must go on.
Archero, look, man. You guys, we do the 4 songs or the 5 songs that we do. How we break everything is up to us. I'm hoping that the way that we do this will make it so that all of y'all will be more considerate, not just of us, but of the entire fucking community.
This does happen a lot, yeah.
And, you know, there are people that tell me, yo, man, this is kind of like Middle will do that. He'd be like, I don't know, bro, this is kind of, and I'm like, I don't know, man, let's roll the dice. That's cool. But you planted with malice aforethought. You knew that this was an official thing, and that's the specific reason why you wanted it cut. You literally admitted that to me, bro. Nah, man, that's not cool, bro. I love y'all, but that's not cool. I don't need to consult you for that, Misery. I don't need to consult you for that. We never set that up that we need to consult with you guys on how we're going to cut it up. But we have told you guys for literal years what official videos do to us, right? I never said anything about how we were going to chop up a stream. It's our channel. We're gonna chop up the stream however we want. Okay? But we have told you guys for literal years that when you do official songs, things like this happen. So now we're all going to risk it. Okay? As Dwayne says, you knew. Correct. So now we're all going to risk it. Okay, what song? Read song number 1.
Song number 1 is... Look, thy cat... You want to read that?
Thy Kataflik, Pirus Koksi Fiki, Hungarian for Red Car Black Night. Okay.
All right, so this song was chosen by Ben Bear. Again, I found myself hit with another amazing surprise album, he said, that came out of...
All right, Ben, no problem then.
Field
no problem, then it won't get blocked, inshallah. We'll see. Go ahead.
I have never been much of a Thy Cartafak fan, but something about the album art just drew me in and it made me give it a chance. Other than the songs that have been done by Vin and Sori on this channel, I never listened to this band. But
have we done this song before? This band before?
Well, he's saying we did. Yeah, I thought that the band name looked familiar.
Catafalque is how it would sound. Catafalque.
He said, I never listened to this band, but from the get-go, this album had me. We're going to listen to the opening track, which is apparently Hungarian for Red Car Black Night. Sit back and enjoy. Listen to all the pleasant sounds.
It's not worth risking the channel to appease them. You're wrong. People work hard and they pay good money for this thing, so I'm gonna do my level best to come through for y'all. I really am. All I ask is that going forward you consider other people and be in communication with us and stop trying to sneak shit under the radar. That's all I'm saying, is that we got to consider other people. If you guys knew from the jump what this was going to happen and then you try to get me to chop it up so that you can have no consequence of that shit, that's not cool, bro. And I'm not doing that shit. Let's just try to be as above board as we can possibly be. Ben, why didn't you send me an email and tell me, hey man, this is the only official one I got. Do you have a way to deal with this? If you did that, then you could have sent it to Archero and we could have had something unofficial. Or Middle Earth or somebody. We could have done something about it. Communicate with me. Stop trying to play us. That's all I'm saying, guys. Like I said, look, I get it. Everybody gets away with stuff once in a while, man. That's cool. But at the same time, this is how I feed my family.
Yeah, right. I mean, yeah. You do understand that the alliances... Do the alliances usually send us stuff that gets us blocked?
Everybody has sent us stuff that got us blocked, and that's okay as long as we have a conversation about it beforehand. But it's crazy to me that people can remember shit that I said months ago in one meeting, but can't remember the shit that I've been consistently saying to everybody for years. Okay,
my memory's not as good as yours, but I just want to make sure that you understand that the alliances had the first 5 songs, and they're saying, hey, we've on purpose picked stuff that won't get us blocked, and that's why we want to be separate from the Imperishable Flames, because we know they're going to do that to you guys. So they're saying we don't want to be affiliated. They should have told me. No. The alliances didn't know that they were connected. There was nothing that they could tell us.
Okay, Archero, yes or no? Did you know beforehand that this official video was going to be here or no?
I don't think he knew.
Well, Archero's not going to lie to me. If he says yes, then I'll cut it. If he says no, then we won't. That's all. So, Archero, just tell me, did you know beforehand that this official video was there and it was going to block your thing, so you didn't want the whole thing blocked?
Because my understanding was that he's just assuming that somebody from the Imperishable Flames is going to do that.
That's because you're a beautiful, beautiful woman. I just need you to answer the question, Archero. Yes or no? Did you know that we were going to have this song that was probably going to get us blocked? Yes or no? That's all I want to know.
Yeah, I'm curious too.
Yeah, because if he did... Okay, he did not. Okay, we'll cut it. Everybody stay where you are. We're going to cut this, and then we're going to go to the next one. Okay? So sit tight. Don't go anywhere. You're lucky that Story was here, because, man, I was about to go Ginsu on y'all. You lucky she's around, y'all. I'm telling you. Woo! Help us, Lord. All right, hold on. Okay, so we're coming right back here. If you are on, Rumble's gonna need a new one too. But nobody's on Rumble right now. Okay, we'll do this on. We're on Twitter and YouTube, so stay exactly where you are, and then we're gonna restart.
Twitter will record it.
We'll give you like a 3-minute time for everybody to come back in. Okay, so. We're going to be good sports about it. I did not know more than a couple of songs in this stream from Imperishable Flames. I did not know about this one. Fair. That's, Archero's never going to lie. Archero's the one that starts the March Madness stuff and all that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you can't say no to Archero. You can't say no to Archero. Man, y'all lucky that Sorian Archero is here. and look, I'm not necessarily upset about the specific song itself. What's bothering me is that a lot of you guys, including Ben, you guys I consider my friends. Don't try to play me, man. Communicate with me. If there is a way to get your song done, I will do my level best to get your song done. And I've done it.
You have. And
we've got people like Archero. I've got people like Archero. We've got Middle Earth has done it. I'm not going to volunteer people for work. But if you tell me beforehand, here's the official video, I will do whatever I can do. We've got enough smart people. I think 275 can do it, right? We got enough smart people to make it happen. People can do okay? So, good. We'll cut this, and then we'll start another one. Again, stay exactly where you are. We're coming right back with the Imperishable Flames. It's an 8-song stream. Let's go. And Dwayne, yeah, I'm not saying about the people that I love or don't love. I'm just saying, there are people that can help us that are technologically savvy, that'll find some way to get us the songs that we need to get, but you got to communicate with me, okay? That's all I'm saying. VinceStory@gmail.com, and then if you set up a stream, you get Story's secret email, right?
Well, but you have to set up a stream. You don't get it without that.
But if you set up a stream and you say, look, I can only find the official video, include it in the email to Sorry. Just highlight it in the email to Sorry.
Yeah.
And, try to give us about 24 to 48, and we will find a way to get a playable version of what you need, okay? All right, good. I'm glad we had that discussion. We're going to kill this and restart it.
Listen, if you're going to send me that in an email and you send me all the songs that you want done, send me a separate email that says, hey, official videos are in there.
All right. Now we're all closer as a community. Right? We all got a lot closer. We'll see you on the other side.